Welcome to another installment of the Final Scoop podcast. My name is Robert Schinetsky, the supplement engineer. Joining me is my international assembly of supplement Avengers in Robert Samborsky, Apollon Nutrition, Lukasz, Rytkowski, Prometeus Intelligent Sports Technology, Shane Smith, Stack.com, and TJ Gonen, Fitness Deal News, the premier deal site on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing, my friends? We are here again on another glorious Saturday. For all of you tuning in for the live feed, that is you kind of get an inside scoop into what the hell goes on behind the scenes. Thank you for joining us live. We will get to all of your comments, questions, queries, and quips during this recording, but we always like to get the ball rolling with a topic or two before we delve into the comments and questions you, the live listeners, have. So hang tight, keep them posting. If you don't see that your comments posting, YouTube gets a little glitchy sometimes, so just keep posting it. We're not ignoring anything, avoiding anything. It just YouTube gets a little stupid sometimes. So thank you for joining us, and we will address your comments shortly. All right, Shane, big news story of the week. Your Clash of the Cans contest has concluded. That was a lot of C's. How was this year's turnout compared to last year's Clash of the Cans? What is it like on the back end from when you're trying to not manipulate everything, but keep everything in control, arrange, organize everything? Give us a little bit of insight into what goes into all of that and putting on one of these voting contests.
I mean, it's just a lot of fun. It's purely the only reason I did it. I remember last year when we did it, and all the brands, all the comments were just sort of like, how much do they pay you to do for the win? And I was like, look, dude, if you see my car, you see my house, I very clearly don't take money from fucking anyone, okay?
Bougie lifestyle.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm flying Ryanair economy, okay? I ain't flying. And I just read these comments and I'm like, no, it's just run how it's run. But when we did it, because the energy drink category is much like the protein market. People will love their energy drink to death, regardless, for whatever reason. They may like the specific carbonation. They may like this one flavor. They may like the caffeine amount in this and this feel and whatever. So people get very passionate. So last year when we did it, it was pretty impressive straight out of the gate. This year was just twice as popular. I think the final round we might have had somewhere in the realm of 100,000 votes. It was pretty big. We had last year.
How many votes?
In the final, I think it was up to 100,000, somewhere in that realm. Wow. But people can vote every day, so obviously it's not everyone voting every day, but at the very least, that's somewhere in the realm of 15,000 different people. But I never measured exactly unique individuals, but you can. But it's just far too much to go through.
Right.
I think last year it was Rays versus C4 carbonated in the final. C4 won. This year it was Rain actually beat out C4 carbonated in the semifinals, and then it was pretty much Rain on Rays. And Rain came through. Rain was a beast. It was surprising because they were still relatively new last year, I think, and they didn't. They did well, but this year it was just, it was another beast. And the comments were kind of a little more 50-50 this year. They were just sort of everyone liked Rays, everyone liked Rain. People said this one tastes like shit, this one tastes like piss. But it was the thing, though. It's when you see these comments, I'm like, I think this is great. People say, oh, this is bullshit. This one tastes like whatever. And I'm just saying, this is great. This is exactly what I was talking about. No matter who wins, people are upset because they're so passionate. I couldn't care. If I named a number one pre-workout, people were like, that's cool. That's really impressive. I like that. Energy drink, people are like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is absolutely crazy. Blah, 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 blah. But it was fun. It was exciting.
Do you have a personal favorite flavor of Rays or Rain?
Ooh. I had to pick. The Rain would be, I think it's a Mango Matic, I think is the one it's called. Mm-hmm. And Rays would be the Phantom Freeze.
What flavor is that like? I've never tried any of the Rays energy drinks.
Oh, you're missing out. It's sort of like their, I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of like I feel like it's like the Monster Ultra thing. Like it's a
The Phantom.
just straight. Yeah, it's kind of like a lemonade type thing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I
It's
like
quite-
the Apple one on Ring.
So which one's that?
The Apple one. on
Oh
Ring.
yeah.
Sour
I mean,
apple.
Yeah, just
I mean,
basic, but it's actually on point. I really like it. Yeah.
the apple on that one is like America does a good apple too, but like, man, it's, there's only like a handful that I don't like out of most energy drinks. Just
Yeah, me too. By the way.
Reigns are pretty much good across the board. I mean, I couldn't be disappointed with any of the energy drinks in the semifinals. I mean, my favorites of all are 3D America. Neither of them made it. You know, what are you going to do? I voted for them, but it didn't matter.
So
You know
you
what you
allow
do.
yourself to vote in your own contest?
Oh, hell yeah. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like Protein Wars. I vote every year. My favorite never wins, but it's just pure proof that, like, whoopty shit.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own. Everyone has their favorite.
So you've done protein wars, you've done energy drink wars. Have you ever thought about doing a pre-workout war?
No.
I mean, that's going to
literally
be
what
absolute mayhem.
No, it's just because it's like I said, you can say your favorite pre-workout. You guys could say you can do, and people are just like, cool.
Yeah.
He likes that, or like even if it's one they don't like, they'll be like, oh, you must like intense pre-workouts. But protein powder, the first year we did it because we announced the number one, our favorite protein powder,
Mhm.
and people were like, what the hell? Why didn't you like isolate? And someone's just like, beef is the best. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh my god. And then we did protein wars, and then everyone was happy until they got to the final and everyone hated each other again. And I was like, oh, for Christ's sake. It was just like people get so passionate. And then we saw the similarity with the energy drink thing. Like I would say, I love this drink, and people are like, oh my god, that's trash. Bang is the best. Even though it didn't make sense, like for them to compare because the flavor we reviewed is not available for Bang. So like just people get so passionate to the point where they don't care what flavor you're talking about. They just feel like Bang is the best, Raise is the best. It's fantastic. Hence why we did it. And it's I think it gives a good chance for people to come out, show their support, get involved. And it's a good opportunity for brands to be able to claim number one most popular with my audience. I think it's great. And this year it's Reign, which is cool. I do like it when different people win. I mean, it's also fun when you get to see like reigning champions and Reign, which has a nice ring to it since Reign is, I thought that was cool. I was like, next year, is Reign gonna remain reigning champion? But anyway, it's I think it'll be good. But this trophy, I don't know if anyone saw it. This is probably my favorite one I've done so far of all the random shit.
Yeah, so how do you order those, or where do you get those from?
Literally, like back in the day, I come up with ideas. Like I wanted to do a championship ring because my friend, he's like, Protein Wars is like the Super Bowl. And I'm like, I guess it is when you think about it. Not really. It's like, I should do a championship ring. And he's like, well, and put like a protein tub on it. And I was like, yeah. And I didn't have the money. So 2 years ago, I found a custom ring designer and got one done for $1,500. So now that's our trophy every year for Protein Wars. It's the giant blinged out ring with a etched and bedazzled protein tub on the front. It's different and it's custom every year. And then this one, I don't know why. I was just like, I said to my wife, I was like, we should just make a solid fucking gold can. And she's like, that sounds expensive. And I was like, it always is. And we got it 3D printed last year. And it was all right, but it didn't turn out because 3D printing isn't smooth on the edge, obviously. And then the guys told me, they're like, if you want to spend $2,500 on the mold, we can then do it cheaper, work out better over like 4 years. I was like, I don't want to do that first because this might suck.
Right.
So this year I was like, screw it, let's do it. And I think it's about 4 pounds, I think, that can. And then the base is like, I haven't got the base with me, but I think it turned out great. It's literally just the dumbest idea that comes into my head. And I think, let's just make it.
I still missed what do you do with it? Just keep it?
No, this is I got this one specifically done for me, but it goes to the champion. So it comes with a base, and the base will say 2020 champion or 2020 winner, whatever the hell it is, and it goes to the winner. But
do you consider that a worthwhile investment? You know, you said it's $1,500 for the ring. Obviously, you're not recouping any of that because it's a free for all for the voting contest.
Hell no. I don't. People say they say things like, "Oh, you must make good money on these contests." Like, how? How am I going to do this? If I put an ad on the fucking voting page, oh my god, Shane, you sold out.
We should talk about it. There's actually legit ways to make money without.
Yes. Trust me, TJ. There are ways, and I know there are ways. And the thing is, I've had companies ask, "Hey, can we make money off the traffic you get from this and that?" And I'm like, No,
not like that. I mean, there's models in the world, right? When someone does a report.
Yeah, but the trick, the one thing we found is with all these contests is like we've added steps where like you got to click this, you got to click that, you got to enter email, you got to enter this, you got to enter that. The more steps that you add to the voting process, even when you add capture.
No, without that, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, but like the catch is when you do these things and you do these contests is that like one year we added you had to have your email, so you had to put your email in so you could
participate.
People go to the page, but they just don't do it.
Yeah,
and it's just even when we add capture, now we just do it because we're like fuck it. And there's like a firewall on the page anyway that picks up on bots and shit. But yeah, it's an intense contest because when you make one small change, you could lose 20,000 people voting, or you could gain 20,000 people voting. It's fucking, it gets intense. But no, we don't really monetize it. Mostly because I know that we even get people complaining that we make money off it anyway, which we don't. So imagine if you did. People might even think it would just get worse. So, but I do these trophies purely because I think they look dumb and cool. Like, I mean, who doesn't want a blitzed out championship ring with a protein tub on it? Who doesn't want a 4-pound solid bronze can?
Everybody.
Yes, exactly. The championship ring's expensive, but yeah, I don't make my money back on this for sure. It's just pure fun.
Tax write-off, maybe it's a business expense because you can put it on a tax.
When we did I mean, yeah, but that's like it's only write-off. Like it doesn't make you still have to pay the money.
Right.
Yeah. But what was the first year we did it? We Man Sports won at the ring, and he was disappointed because he'd already won it. I think he won it. That was the second time. And he was disappointed because he wanted to be able to do the thing with different rings on different fingers and blitz out his hand. But it's it's just one of those things that like people are proud of. I mean, I don't really care if you share it or not. I just think it's a memorable thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't make a whole lot of money off it now.
Yeah. Well, since with taxes, that brings up something to mind. Okay, so you and your family kind of hop and putt around, every so often, depending when we have expos. You usually hunker down somewhere there. How do you have? You don't have to get too into the weeds with this as far as tax code, but how does that work? Where you're working at all these different countries, and do you just have like one base of operations that the company is founded out of, and it goes from there?
Yeah. So from my understanding, you have to remain like a tax resident in my country. You have to be home for a certain amount of months of the year, mm-hmm. and we do. And like, I mean, so long as you maintain. I guess you're not staying in other countries for too long. And I mean, a lot of the time, while I do a lot of work, mostly do a lot of just traveling around, going, seeing things, having goat's milk and cheese in Krakow. And it's, it's great. But the thing is, I think they say it's like, oh, what's the country you're in the most in throughout the year? And I was like, well, I'm not in New Zealand for very long, but it is definitely the country I'm probably the most in because I don't really spend long in too many others.
Yeah. Excellent.
But yeah, I mean, I suppose we're not the only people. I mean, salesmen that travel whatever many years around, blah, 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 and some other boat.
Okay. Next main topic I want to get to, and this is kind of jumping off from a question Sandy and I had on our live that we do every Wednesdays. It is overrated, underrated supplements. So in this instance, I guess we're going to talk with single ingredients instead of, or I guess you can do like a product category like cardiovascular, nootropic. Some.
I thought we were going to get into the brands again.
So, no. We can do overrated, underrated. That would be a good topic for next week. Overrated, underrated supplement brands. We'll do that next week.
You're starting this out aiming for ingredients, but this is going to take a turn. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can do
Just
ingredients for a product category.
Make TJ go first.
I want to say exactly the same thing.
He'll set the pace.
Yeah.
The brand stuff. Yeah.
All right. What you got, PJ? Overrated, underrated supplements.
Ingredients or supplements?
Take the lead, TJ.
I'm going to let you take the lead. I'm going to put it out there. Wherever you take the ball and run with it, we'll follow, sir.
Let's go. First, Apollon.
No, so supplements, you mean like supplements. Let's say just supplements, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think overrated, that's relatively easy, I think. I think that overrated, all the EAA, BCA formulas, way overrated. Mm-hmm. Not that it's not. I use them, by the way, all the time. I use it every day, but I can afford it, and I get it super cheap, and I get a billion of them. But like, if I would buy my kid something before I buy an EAA, BCA formula, right? Get your kid something. It's just, I think that the research is minimal at best, right? And I think you get this stuff from everything else that you take anyway. So, like, if you just buying a pure BCAA, EAA formula, if you can afford it and you buy it for the taste and fuck it, or you buy it cheap because you found like a great deal, great. I think people like swear by it or shit like that. I think it's overrated. That's my overrated one. And I literally use BCAA, EAA, and I use it all the time. Again, I'm contradicting myself because half of my liquid intake is Apollon's chainsaw, right? Which is a BCAA formula because I like the freaking taste. It's a great, and while I'm at it, it's a amino liquid enhancer, right? And I love the taste. I think people go overboard with this shit, like, and the placebo effect. Oh my God, I feel so rejuvenated. Fuck you. Feel rejuvenated my ass with like a pure BCAA formula. But anyway, so that's one. Okay, so that's overrated. That was easy actually for me. There's a bunch more. By the way, I can go overrated on like 70% of supplement categories. Like I think that, but underrated. Underrated. What's underrated? Sleep formulas. I really like sleep formulas. I think that it's like number 17 on people's list before. I just, my workout is way better. Like if I have a great pre-workout and a shitty sleep, or a great sleep and a mediocre pre-workout, my workout will be better with a great sleep and a mediocre pre-workout. Everything actually, my mood, my concentration, no nootropic pre-workout, whatever natural anabolic bullshit you're taking can change sleep. So I think sleep is way underrated, just sleep generally, and the way that it impacts literally everything you do. So I think a solid sleep formula, and there's not a lot of very good ones. There's a lot of sleep formulas, but not necessarily a lot of good ones. Then a solid sleep formula is way underrated on people's like list of shit they would buy. I would buy a good sleep formula. Like if you give me protein or a sleep formula, I would buy a sleep formula. If it's something I can use on a daily basis and can increase, like way before protein. But if you look probably at the supplement bestsellers on sites, I don't think you'll find sleep formulas at the top 5, right? People will buy fucking natural test boosters that will do shit before they buy a sleep formula. So that's it. Okay, does that make sense? How much did I get? Is that like a 10, 9, 8 for the answer? What do I get?
11.
11? Fuck yeah.
Well, it's on a scale out of 100, so.
Oh, fuck you. See, Shane, you were trying to be sweet again in the SAS. Americans.
No, you know what, TJ? My 11's out of 5. There you go.
All right, Shade, you're going to be able to throw you into the fire next.
Okay, so most overrated. I'm gonna go with most underrated. I'm actually gonna. TJ stole my underrated. I class sleep products as recovery. So if I buy a stack, it's typically protein, pre-workout, and it'll be what I class as a recovery product. So and I'll probably choose sleep or amino. I won't go both. For me, it's just like, yeah. And as TJ said, I would probably buy a sleep product above others because, yeah, if you're recovered and like you're able to go to the gym the next day, even if it's like just you feel better and your muscles are still a little bit achy, but even if you can just, the better recovery you can do, the more you're going to be able to torture your body the next day and make some more gains. That was always my theory. Was I had this discussion with someone, I think it was pretty sure it was John Meadows, I think, actually. And I was asking him, I was like, are you sore because you didn't recover and you didn't eat right? Or are you sore because you trained really hard? I said, how are you going to know? But the better option is obviously just to recover the hell out of yourself as best you can and then just try and work on the training. But yeah, man, I sleep, nighttime recovery stuff, getting sleep, and just feeling refreshed the next day. I mean, that's I put that up there above most, if not all, products, right there with pre-workout and protein powder, just purely because, yeah, even if you take your pre-workout and you're aching, you're still going to be a bit laggy, and deadlifting, you know, forcing yourself to be energized. It's not fun. It's way better just feeling good. Most overrated. Shit. This is a hard one. I don't really have an overrated thing that I think.
You'll take you whore. Just come on. Something. There's something, Shane.
It could be a single ingredient. It could be a product category. It could be either one.
Shit. No. Well, no. I mean, if we're gonna say overrated, then no, because that's not overrated. I don't have an overrated. I think they're all rated equally as good, except there are just some. I have a second underrated. I think nothing beats a. Like I said, when I buy a stack, I buy a pre-workout, a protein powder, and a recovery, and a multivitamin. Mm-hmm. I make sure that's like always in there. I mean, it's only an extra $20 a month sometimes, but you know, these days, Inspired, Core, there's a whole bunch of others that are just making these comprehensive beasts that are like now omegas with vitamins, minerals, probiotics, prebiotics, are just all-in-one beasts. So I mean, they've taken it to a new height, and save you, I guess, from buying lots of little individual ones. But I would say a multivitamin is another underrated category. That was why our top 5 best products on our site are 5 of the weirdest categories. It's pre-workout, recovery, multivitamin, and weight loss. And mixed in on the recovery side is like there are no aminos. I rank all top sleep supplements above amino products just because I put multivitamin on there just because I believe when you have them on there, like people are like, oh, what's his best pre? What's his best recovery? And then they see a vitamin, they're like, oh, so maybe this is similar importance. Mm-hmm. That was the whole reason I put it on there, because I believe it is very important. Not something you're probably going to wake up feeling great on. Your piss will be yellow almost always, but you know, that's about it. I got 2 underrated. There you go.
There we go. All right, Lukasz.
Do I get a score as well?
Do you what?
Do I get a score?
10 out of 10, Shane.
10 out of 10. I cannot argue with anything more than 10.
10 out of 10. Clean, straight 10 out of 10. Yeah. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Don't let anyone take me down.
Yes.
This is a health and wellness feel good show. Robert always, whenever I look at the camera and I see Robert, his face always looks like quite angry kind of thing.
Robert looks like he's gonna kick someone in the ball. Like
I know.
It's just like if someone comes into the door now, like if his wife comes in and says, "Hey, do you want something to eat?"
That's the Russian mindset, man. It's just forlorn, intense.
Right.
I'm gonna kick the shit out of you if you look at me the wrong way.
That's what 20 years of the Gulag does to you. Like seriously, every Russian I work with, like they're angry motherfuckers.
Don't fuck with Russians, man.
Angry.
I don't think he's angry. I think he's just like his resting face is just like
his resting
like
face.
serious shit, right? Because then you say something and then he animates, and I'm just like,
actually, I like that thing. What's your resting face? I actually.
Well, there's a word for it, but I don't want to say it because I don't want Robert to feel bad. But it's you know what you've heard of it, resting bitch face. You know what I've heard of it?
Bitch face.
Yeah. Lucas knows. Not that this is applicable to Robert. I'm just like his resting face is like serious.
In general.
Yeah, like if I was in a meeting, I would not. I would be like, this is an intense meeting.
Right,
but then, like I said, as soon as he talks, it just lights up the room. It's beautiful.
I'll try to stay intense then. And
I had far too much caffeine this morning.
Go ahead, Lucas. You're all man.
So as far as underrated, I'm not gonna be unique. I will definitely say that I would say in general health supplements, such as like joint support, omega, gut support, those kind of things. I think especially nowadays, the trends are like moving to this direction, and more people are like are trying to take care of themselves by supplementing with those kind of things. So I would say that underrated things are still like the omegas and the joint support, curcumin, those kind of things. But the trends are changing. But I will still put them in the underrated category. And as far as like overrated, I got two. I got mass gainers, which in my opinion are like
I love gainers.
Piece of shit.
I love gainers.
It's like a waste of fucking money, and I would put them. I would put all my money into good quality food instead of like buying powder and expecting they will gain like tons of fucking mass, which is like ridiculous. Do you remember, guys, those mass gainers where you had this like shovel, and
Bro,
there was
I think mass gainers
bucket.
are like.
It was like a huge fucking bucket, and you had like
maybe 4
servings per container, and one serving was like 1,000 calories. And when you were putting the shovel in the blender was like.
Dude, you don't need a blender. You just put the blender ball in there. You
couldn't blend at all.
So you must sell like Prometeus though. You have to be selling like there must be a gainer that you have that sells like crazy. Guaranteed. Every distributor, retailer has it.
Well, yeah, but it's...
You just don't want to say it. But then I suppose that's your point, though. It's overrated, is what you're saying.
More, and to be honest, nowadays we sell more protein than mass gainers.
But like it's still probably...
back in the days, like I could tell you, for example, that like carnivore from mass carnivore and MHP up your mass that was selling like insane.
I heard Middle East,
but I think it's a very specific use case, right, Lukasz? If you're the only people I would say I ever said, "Hey, check out mass gainers," are literally people that just can't put up any weight.
Yeah,
and either don't have like appetite or whatever. And there's just all I'm saying is it's very hard to eat 5,000 calories.
Yeah, but still, it's funny because those people, they don't even track their calories. They say, "Oh, I eat so much."
Oh, so I agree.
They're eating like 1,000 calories per day, and they're expecting they're gonna gain weight. It's
I agree. I a couple of people that tracked and they just can't, like, their body. I mean, God, I hate them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck them. But they're like would eat 4,000 calories and nothing. Like their body just goes through it like
See,
nothing.
that was my issue growing up when I was like 17,
Never mind.
18. When I started the gym, I couldn't get in. I pushed the calories, I pushed the carbs, but getting in, 100 grams of carbs, even if you pushed it that much, like in rice versus a shake, like my body had never taken in that much before. And I would almost be, I couldn't back when I was like whatever the fuck weight I was. And I had trouble to put it down. And then that's when someone said, you should try a mass gainer. And then like legit, I don't take them to think I'm going to get big. I take them to think that I'm getting in the calories in a more concentrated thing because my body will take it in. I wouldn't take it thinking I'm going to gain 10 pounds of muscle. I know I'm going to get fat.
Wait,
But I think it gets your body used to being able to take in that much calories.
Yeah, but still, don't you think it's better to eat like quality?
No, you can't though.
Some people can't have it. Lukasz,
Yeah.
I know it sounds strange for like. Listen, when I look at someone says, "I have a hard time. I'm taking a mass gainer, and that's whatever 3,000 calories." Personally, because I'm bottomless. Like I can eat forever. I would say, "Fuck that. I'll have 2 trays of pizza," because I can actually take 2 trays of pizza. Like I can take it. No problem. You give me now, seriously, like you give me now 3 trays of pizza. I'll just go through them. Easy. But some people can just not eat so much. And their body burns it like maniacs. I would get fat like a motherfucker in like 3 days. Give me 3 days, I gain 20 pounds. So, but some people can't.
I feel like if you put 2,000 calories, 2,000 calories of rice.
Shane, now that you're getting older, is it still the same motherfucker? No,
bro. It's the problem the other way.
You need to lose up that belt.
I got trouble keeping it off. I was like, for a while, I was like, bro, put the mass on, gainers every day. Now I'm like, fuck, how do I stop this?
Exactly.
But that was the thing. I had trouble. Like if you put 2,000 calories of a gainer on the table and then 2,000 calories of rice and chicken, I can guarantee you it would even be a challenge for me at the real food 2,000 calories. I feel like it would be very difficult. But like I think for someone getting into it who has trouble eating and getting their body used to that much, I think gainers are I understand Lukasz's point though. Like if you're taking it and being like, this is going to get me jacked, and they have like no breakfast, no dinner, and just to get a mass gainer.
No supplement is going to get you jacked.
I think, maybe because I was more involved with people that like, they weren't like tracking macros and they were like, just like, oh, fuck it, And I think that they were like relying more on supplements instead of like food, and that's maybe my.
I think you're right there. I think it's overrated, but I still it's just for a lot of people it's good, but I do think 1,500 calories is in a shake. I still think that's magic, but still I still think it might be a bit overrated for a lot of people doing it for that purpose, like gain 10 pounds of muscle, blah blah blah.
Yeah. And last one, overrated. I think CBD. that's something
Interesting. Yeah.
I fucking hate. I just can't stand this shit, and this trend just like pisses me off so much.
Why do you think it's overrated? Based on science? Based on personal experience?
There is no science.
There's very little science.
Yeah, that's the thing, But the people are like claiming so much nowadays, and like more and more companies are coming with these formulas that are saying that this amazing compound's gonna like get you jacked, put you to better sleep, keep you calm and everything. There are way more better ingredients out there that would like keep you in better mood and just like keep you calm. And I'd rather like take 5-HTP or melatonin before bedtime than like going with CBD or something like this. To me, it's worthless. and especially it's worthless when I see it in like energy cans. You know, the drinks infused with CBD. What else?
Well, you get the CBD. What else? I mean, you get the cookies,
There was something recently I saw, and I was like,
CBD water, CBD gum.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, the list goes on. I mean, I share it all.
I'm waiting for a CBD protein bar next. I'm sure it's coming.
No, it's
There's a CBD lip balm. I think there is.
I'm
There's
sure
CBD
it will, you know.
CBD face mask.
Yeah, they're now using in cosmetics.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah,
Beautiful.
Face mask.
yeah, face
Yeah.
mask.
I mean, I could understand it. I think it would have better absorption going that way than through the GI tract. If you could get a transdermal application, that might be a little bit better. So it bypasses the first stage metabolism by the liver and everything in the GI tract. But still, and then plus CBD's got some alleged purported anti-inflammatory benefits, which could be good if you have rosacea or some other kind of inflammatory skin disorder. So I could see the utility of it there. But I think most of the studies are showing somewhere in like the neighborhood of like 200 to 300 milligrams of CBD isolate. And that's fucking expensive. So you're going to tell me the little 20 milligrams of full spectrum hemp oil you've got in your pre-workout's going to do fuck all of anything? No.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, some brands are claiming they're like full spectrum hemp oil that is like without any THC or I just don't get it. I just don't get it. To me, it's like so much like a bitch ass move, you know.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Oh,
Ruffy,
those
what
are
you got,
strong
man?
words.
Overrated, underrated?
Okay, well, I mean, basically everything that the guys covered, I sort of agree. I mean, TJ said about EAs and BCAs, and you know, I mean, we talked about it many times. EAs, in my opinion, are absolutely. I'm not going to say they're useless because they're not. Obviously, they add a lot to recovery, but at the end of the day, we can get EAs from food. We can get it from protein, and it's pretty much proven that. It's more of a luxury and probably a little bit of a placebo effect. And you can put together a good formula, and if you can afford it, and if you like the taste, definitely. But look, again, like TJ said, to claim that, oh my God, I feel rejuvenated, I feel so much better. I mean, to be honest with you, and again, I'm contradicting myself right now, just like TJ said that he did. I drink BCAs all the time because I like the taste. I fucking hate water. I'm always dehydrated because I cannot fucking stand water. So now I'm drinking water because it tastes good. It has BCAs. Obviously, it adds something. But to say that I'm feeling it, I'm probably feeling the water more than anything. And if it has some electrolytes in it, you know, rather than drinking, I don't know, something like Gatorade that is just loaded with sugar, I'll go for BCAs. Again, it's a lot more expensive. So I will get the benefit from a good recovery formula because you do get the benefit, but is it necessary to get it? It's definitely overrated. I mean, that's the fact, and why lie? I mean, we just have to be honest about it. So EAs and BCAs, I actually think there is more value in BCAs than EAs because EAs we're getting for protein regardless. So if you have, you know, what bodybuilders claim 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, I mean, you're getting more than enough EAs throughout the day. There is really no need for it. BCAs, they add a little bit more, but to be honest with you, it's a placebo effect more than anything. If it has electrolytes, taurine, something like that, then you can benefit from it. Is it worth the cost? Because obviously everything is expensive. Is it necessary? Is it a must? Is it going to make or break your physique? Then absolutely not. I mean, those are just the facts, and we have to be honest about it. I actually put here on the list also mass gainers. In terms of mass gainers, yes, there is market for them. And there are those people who have difficulties gaining weight, you know, the hard gainers, or people with extremely fast metabolism. Obviously, shoving so much food in your body is close to impossible. But I know people who eat whatever the fuck they want, and they cannot put on muscle, and they cannot put on fat either, just because of their genetics. So I remember when years ago I was talking to somebody who was doing contest preps, and he's a good friend of mine. He would actually advise his clients like to eat, you know, he would put them on a meal plan. And then similar to what TJ said about pizza, late at night, he would actually make them eat something like pizza or a cheeseburger or a pint of ice cream, because it will slow down the metabolism. And, obviously you're going to bed, so you're not going to use those calories for any activities. So it will slow down your metabolism. It will also add calorie intake throughout the day. And boom, here you have your mass gainer. I mean, pretty solid too. But again, it depends on the body type. It depends on the genetic pool and all that. In terms of overrated, something that I didn't know, and a lot of people in the industry and a lot of consumers don't know. And actually, Alina, who started working for, she's obviously a doctor of pharmacy, and she works now for a huge pharmaceutical company called Amarin. They make Vasipa. Vasipa is a prescription fish oil, the only fish oil on the market, the only one, there is no other, that is proven to reduce your heart diseases and actually improve your triglycerides. So here's the thing. I've been taking fish oil my entire life pretty much, and my triglycerides were, somewhat questionable. I've been on Vasipa for the past, I think, 2 years now. It's a prescription. And my triglycerides are fucking perfect. They're literally perfect. So, not to be a party pooper, because a lot of people just don't know. And she sent me literature on it, something that, let's face it, the meatheads and, people in our industry, they will listen to somebody like Price Plow, and they all of a sudden buying everything that they proclaim is the game changer of the year. But at the end of the day, fish oil, and I would say, I'm not going to go as far as saying, Shane, stop. I'm not going to say all of them 100%, but 99% of the fish oil on the market is absolute complete garbage. That's what it is. And Robert, I can see that you're agreeing with me. It's just shit, and it has a placebo effect and no benefit whatsoever. It doesn't matter what it claims to be, but the literature is there. It's actually, we just, most of us, you're writing content for a lot of companies, so you obviously doing research, and I'm pretty sure that, this is not breaking news to you, that when it comes to omegas in general. Another thing that is overrated, but it has a trend lately, I think all the trademark, well, not all, but majority of the new trademarked ingredients that are claimed to be like, oh my God, this is the newest thing. This is the super berberine, and this is the super this. And then we obviously talked about S7. And, there are so many things that, I'm not even going to go into encapsulated glutamine, because I'm still waiting for the fucking literature on that. Damn, I just realized I do look angry. Fuck. Yeah, that's not cool.
Now you do.
I'm gonna try to be charming again. So so the thing is, there is a lot of overrated shit on the market, and we didn't even cover probably half of the list. In terms of underrated, again, I have to agree, sleep formula. We're all talking about the fact that, we work out hard, we have to eat, we have to train. But if you really train hard, you're fucking up your whole system. And the most important thing in order for you to grow your muscles is to recover. And sleep is probably the most important things when it comes to recovery. I know TJ fucking doesn't even go to bed probably, because I get sometimes messages from him from 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. and
Yeah,
God knows what time he's going to bed. So does his body recover? I'm pretty sure that his fucking sleep patterns are fucked up. So, a good sleep formula can definitely help and can be very, very beneficial with recovery, and we probably would see better results. On the market right now, we looked at it. There is hardly anything good. There are a couple of companies that have good sleep formulas, no doubt, but they very underrated. Nobody talks about them because everybody is buying fucking BCAs and EAAs and pre-workouts and and encapsulated glutamine and shit like that. And at the end of the day, we're missing the important stuff, sleep. Oh, I don't need fucking sleep formula. Yes, you do, stupid. You actually do need it, because it's going to help you with your gains. It's going to help you with your progress. So 100%, I 100% agree that it's very, very underrated. And another thing, joint formula. We fucking beating up our bodies, lifting weights, doing martial arts, and CrossFit and all that. And the older we get, obviously, we're fucking up our system, we're fucking up our joints. A joint formula, it's rarely something that people talk about. We get a lot more about CBD that we all know is absolute garbage and shit, and and cost a lot of money. But joint formulas and sleep formulas rarely discussed. I mean, people are not talking about it, even though it's extremely important, probably part of being healthy. And I do agree on a good multivitamin formula as well. Those you see some of the multivitamin formulas, and I even know because my manufacturer actually talked to me a couple of weeks ago, and he goes to me, you know what, Apollon should have a multivitamin formula. I'm like, what? Because they cost like $2-3 to manufacture. I mean, obviously it's garbage because it's not going to be a comprehensive formula that is good, but everybody's releasing multivitamins. But if you look at them, I mean, most of them are shit because they don't have anything in them, it's just a bunch of numbers that most people don't even understand. And then they're going to look and they're going to say, wow, this is cheap. This is multivitamin. And what do you get? In essence, you're getting a placebo effect because it makes you feel good because you're taking a multivitamin. Is it a good one? Nobody knows.
Well put. And y'all basically hit everything I was going to say as far as I think my most underrated supplement is probably glutamine. I mean, there are just so many benefits to using glutamine each day. It's really a fantastic.
But is it
cannot tell.
But is it encapsulated?
I cannot tell if he's. I can't tell. Okay, now I can tell.
Yeah, no. Mine was going to be joint support, joint health formulas, or stress and anxiety relief formulas.
Oh,
I guess,
interesting.
especially given.
It's underrated.
Yeah, those are underrated. I don't think those are nearly emphasized enough, especially with. And I guess I get a little bit different insight into it because I'll hear all the shit that Sandy's students are going through each week, and you'd be surprised how many like young kids are stressed and anxious about everything that's going on now. I remember being a teenager, and we were all teenagers at one point. Lukasz, I think, was a teenager back in like the 60s or something. I'm not sure how old he is, but
Lukasz was a teenager yesterday.
Fucking old man.
Lukasz is still a teenager.
But I mean, outside of like worrying if I got like an A or a B on a test, I wasn't stressed about anything. I mean, I was enjoying life, just being, young and happy. I don't, and so I'm not sure if it's the state of the world, if it's kids having access to, being glued to their cell phones and social media or stuff. But I think stress and anxiety relief stuff is kind of underrated. Because if you're stressed, that's going to impact your sleep. It's going to impact your metabolism, your productivity, your training, your relationships with other people, just your general outlook on life. So I think, if you can get that under control, that'll kind of open up everything else. And then joint health too, because everybody, especially with as much of the world that is obese or overweight and unhealthy, their joints get a beating and they're not even doing anything extremely physically active. So I think those are two categories that could benefit a significant portion of the population that aren't just the ones that go into the gym and hit it hard, more days than not each week. And then for overrated, shit. I mean, I kind of listed a whole bunch of them the other day. Carnitine, CBD, glutamine, S7. What else? What did you say, Lukasz?
He said SARMs.
Yeah, those two. Yeah, I think those. Yeah, let's take something.
Robert, can you go back to carnitine?
Uh-huh.
There are different types of carnitine. Are you listing all of them under the same?
No, just regular L-carnitine.
Okay.
That's just because it's got poor bioavailability. It's been shown to not really be effective in anybody except for the elderly, vegans, vegetarians, basically people that don't eat meat. It's got poor bioavailability. You need to take a bolus of carbohydrates to even enhance its absorption. Like the one or two studies that used L-carnitine that noted benefit, they were taking between 40 and 80 grams of carbohydrates. So you're taking something that is supposed to enhance fatty acid oxidation, but you're taking it with a shit ton of carbohydrates to improve its bioavailability in the body and uptake. So your body's going to be metabolizing that giant bolus of carbohydrates you just took instead of using fatty acids to run on fuel. So it seems a little incongruous right there.
So you wouldn't classify acetyl L-carnitine, Alcar on the same level?
No, because I'm not using Alcar for its fatty acid oxidation benefits. I'm taking it more for its potency as an antioxidant, scavenging the free radicals in the brain and enhancing acetylcholine production.
Okay.
And then L-carnitine, L-tartrate it's got some data showing increased androgen receptor density. So it'll help your body use hormones like testosterone a little bit more efficiently. And it's reduced muscle soreness, muscle damage from eccentric loading exercise, and improved muscle recovery. So I think in those avenues it's useful, but as like a fat loss supplement, regular L-carnitine, like all these liquid 3,000 milligram L-carnitine formulas, it's just flavored water. It's dog shit.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and speaking of test boosters, that's another thing. As we missed on that. I mean, and it's not most, all the test boosters on the market are crap. I mean, that's just the way it is. I do believe that you can lower your estrogen because they are. I mean, it's kind of a gray area. Like if you take, for example, a remistane, it can definitely lower your estrogen. So in essence, probably the ratio of testosterone to estrogen is going to be higher. But it's not by increasing testosterone. So every time I see testosterone, companies claiming that it's gonna increase testosterone through the roof and stuff like that, and typically those products are extremely expensive too. And obviously they don't do anything.
yeah, I mean, I think if you attack it from the thing of like a hormone support or optimization thing, so cortisol and testosterone kind of work inversely. So when cortisol is really high, testosterone, libido, mood, all that's going to be low. So if you attack it from the thing of like addressing cortisol, which I guess brings us back to the whole stress relief, anxiety relief argument, then you can get an indirect boost in testosterone that way.
Yeah,
and then,
absolutely.
like you said, the estrogen metabolism, putting some DIM in there or some I3C, that can help.
And that will, like I said, you're right. I mean, it's going to lower the estrogen, which is going to make probably more free testosterone available, and the ratio is obviously shifting. So you might feel like, your libido and testosterone are increased, but they actually it's a side effect of other things.
Yeah, exactly. So
what do you think about adding ashwagandha or, for example, boron, DIM, tribulus, those kinds of things to a supplement that helps you to enhance the testosterone, I would say, anabolic effect, more like that.
Yeah, I think you're going to get more of a libido boost. I don't think you're going to get a substantial or, a clinically significant boost in testosterone. So say you take a natty test booster and you're at 500, maybe it boosts you to 550 or 600. That's not going to have any kind of meaningful benefit. That's not going to help you put on 5 or 10 more pounds. Whereas if you went from like 500 to 1,000, like you would get with HRT or something like that, that's going to have huge ramifications for your overall sex drive, your muscle building ability, just your cognitive function, all of that stuff, your general health. So I think that way. But if boron could be useful if you're clinically deficient. There's enough data on there showing, I think, boron led to a 28% increase in testosterone levels in athletes when they were boron deficient. Same thing with zinc. You take a few milligrams of zinc. 30 milligram, I think, was the dose on that, and it'll boost it. But those are addressing deficiencies. I think if you're supplementing above and beyond that, if you're getting enough boron and zinc from whole foods, and you're supplementing above that, I don't think it's going to give you that much bigger boost in testosterone unless you're if you've got all your ducks in a row from that standpoint. And tribulus,
that's the one that I wanted to ask you. I mean, tribulus seems to be placebo at best.
Yeah, it might do some libido stuff, but I mean, you'll hear like the super high grade Bulgarian tribulus, and you'll see some of the companies harp on those things, but I just not
Polish tribulus.
Yes,
Polish tribulus. I think you patent it. I don't know. Call it something fancy.
It was like water, man.
Yeah, it smells like fish. It's made with fish, but it doesn't smell like it.
Yeah.
Smoked tribulus. There we go.
I got one more that I want to touch bases with you guys. The beauty supplements. What do you guys think about that?
I think Ghost Glow works. Other than that, nothing works.
Yep.
I have not used any.
We are on thin ice right now. We're really literally on thin ice with those.
I have not used any beauty supplements, so I'm not gonna. I don't know. My face is gorgeous as is, as you can clearly see.
Right.
I mean, so.
I'm not looking to enhance my skin, but I just wanted to get your opinion on this category.
I'm out of this conversation.
I think I think it's one of I think it's a sneaky category. I think it's one of the sleeping categories.
I think Lukasz is being sneaky right now.
I think it's.
Do you think it's overrated or underrated?
Here's my catch on it. Like, the gaming supplement category, right? Like you take it, you could probably take like an energy drink, but we'd be all good, right? You could probably just take an energy drink, and you don't necessarily need all the stuff that comes with this gaming supplement. But it's $40, you buy it, whatever. I think that the beauty category, I've never tried it, so I haven't even tried any of this stuff, so I don't know.
I thought you did.
What?
No, I haven't. I don't. Hey,
Oh, shit. This is natural, Shane?
this is natural.
Oh, shit.
I literally. I know if you may not believe this. I
And you
literally
just woke up.
I woke up like this. I hate to say it, but I woke up like this.
Man,
Um,
I thought you were injecting Ghost Glow or something like that. Look at that.
not.
I
I'm
thought
not,
you were sponsored or something.
not doing anything yet. But either way, so my wife, right? She buys a lot of like different like serums and moisturizers and oils and stuff like that. And I've been into the stores that she buys these things from, and you see the intensity. Like they have like topical hyaluronic acid and stuff, and I
Yeah.
see the intensity and in-depthness that they get into these things, and I'm like if you gave someone a supplement like pill, powder, and like you even made like a fraction of the claims we typically see on sports supplements, it's like a no-brainer. And the beauty market is insanely huge. And I think that like you see the supplements now in the beauty stores, the makeup stores. What's that? Sephora. They have them now. You have those Ollie gummies. They kill it. I think is a category that like, even if like we don't necessarily think it's like, because we're from a sports nutrition background, I think it's a category that you could tap into very easily.
It's a
and like
huge category.
I think it's just giant.
As a market, as a potential market.
It's
Okay.
huge.
And
Yeah.
I think-
I think the female portion is the biggest
Oh,
purchasing.
I disagree, Robert. I think even men. If you, I think that I think I mentioned that on one of the podcasts also. Supplements like workout supplements, gains, and fat loss supplements are very similar to cosmetics. We talked about it several times.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that shortcut to look better, whether it's wrinkles on your freaking face or whatever. Here's the bottom line with this shit. If any of this thing worked, that's what I tell people all the time. Like when there's like these claims on natural testosterone, and I'll make that analogy into cosmetics in a second because I agree with you, Shane. It's a huge category, huge. People for the chance, for the promise of removing whatever it is, a micron of wrinkle on their freaking face would pay a lot of money. And like just like female do, I think men would do the same. I always say that to people, like when they see these claims on a natural supplement of gains, right? Like, I just reviewed the Somatomax, right? And it says growth hormone release. And I think I said it on the review. Listen, if this shit was actually working for GH, natural GH release, it would be $1,000 a fucking tub. Why would anyone sell something that actually works for GH release for $20 or $40 a tub? If someone actually did, by the way, serum for the face that my wife uses and your wife uses, if this shit actually worked, like literally actually worked, it would be $1,000 fucking a tub. Like if you actually could prove this shit to work and you wouldn't need to take it for 50 years to get some sort of, I'm not saying like it's bullshit. All of this shit is bullshit. If it actually worked, if I could come up with something tomorrow that would actually literally in a month, you would literally see a difference in 80% of the cases, dude, it would be $1,000 a bottle. It's bullshit. That's why all of these are bullshit.
See, the thing is, I think like for us, you'd be like, oh, I'll spend $50 to potentially get 5% more gains.
No,
and I think, but see, the thing is with beauty stuff,
you could still
I think,
I'm just saying, it's bullshit.
I think with beauty stuff, it's way less. I reckon if you told them spend $200 for 1% like better skin, they'd be like,
sure,
yeah, because you don't have to exercise.
It's a convenient thing.
That's why, listen, people do Botox, right? Check out the numbers for Botox injections. It's billions on billions on billions of dollars. You know why? And it's, by the way, $300 a treatment or something like that. Why? Because it fucking works. You go into a place. It's like a pre-workout. You feel it. You go into a place. You come out. You have less wrinkles. It's period. It works. So people would for sure pay. And like to your point, cosmetics is a great example. As I say, it's a very similar market. Like the promise of 1%. Yeah, fuck it. Even if I came up tomorrow with a pill that the FDA said, if you drink it, right, you lose. It's like jogging. It's like losing 100 calories from exercise. Okay, just 100 calories, man. I could, like, if the FDA actually said it, I could, like, by sitting down, man, $200 a bottle, and there would be a market for it because people would fucking pay for the 100 calories for free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the beauty category is a sleeper.
Very similar.
Yeah,
I think it's a matter of time.
Ghosts jumped into it, and I've seen Steel Fit jump into it. I'm curious to see what other ones are going to start releasing more straight on beauty supplements.
You kind of seen like some brands are doing like beauty skin, like it's kind of branched off from the collagen trend.
Right.
But I think people are doing also doing the Alani Nu approach and going at it from a hormone, and they're kind of bringing the two together, being like feel good, look good kind of thing. I've seen that kind of being branched a bit, but it's Nutritox. Nutritox did one, the Man Sports health brand. But yeah, I see it. Ghost Glow I think was a huge one for them to get into that market, being such a big brand, and I guess one of the first big ones to do it. And I mean, I haven't tried it, but at the same time, I think it has to work. I think it has to be, even if it's less effective than a pre-workout, it's got a market, hands down.
Huge market. Huge.
Yeah.
I
don't think it's for me. I don't think it's for like maybe any of us. But I think that like the people it's there for is huge. Again, I've seen people in these stores that just like my wife when she buys like a whole cart of this shit, and I'm like, and she just puts it on religiously. But that's the thing. I think that's like, and she's what, one in probably 3 billion people that do it. It's insane.
It's a huge industry. Check the number.
I'll never understand it.
It's a huge number. It's massive.
But I think if supplements just get a fraction of that, it would be insane.
Oh yeah, be a huge thing for the industry.
It's a new category.
I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about this next year being like, God damn it, we were right, guys. We were goddamn right.
Right.
And we'll have a Apollon beauty.
There we go.
Apollon. And instead of having Robert's back on it, we'll have him turning around.
But the thing is like like we have those products in the beauty industry, right? Not in the supplement industry until Ghost right now. But my question is, say for example, when a consumer buys supplements, right? The better example would be protein, probably, or pre-workout, because you can see the effects. I mean, with protein, you go obviously for taste, because if you pick isolate, then you have choices of different companies, different brands. Depends what you're going for. So, for example, or pre-workout, you try a certain pre-workout. If it's good, you're going to stick with it maybe for a while, or you will never buy it again. So, like you said, Shane, about your wife, she uses those products religiously, right? She spends money on them, and you could call her, I guess, a loyal customer, and she believes in them or not. That's another question, but she keeps spending money, and she keeps supporting that industry. Now, if you bring it to the supplement industry, and for example, you incorporate it in supplements, my question is, will it survive? Will it stick? Because if the pre-workout is not good, we abandon the ship and we go somewhere else. So if the certain skin products in the supplement industry are not going to work, if they're going to be like what TJ said, for $20-$30, they're useless and placebo and bullshit, will it stick?
Natural test boosters, Robert. It's been around for 20 years and people still do it, and it does shit. EAA is BC. I mean, listen, people, it's what Shane said. It's the same thing for cosmetics. Listen, we're all like, if you've been like, I'm sure Shane's wife is the same. Like, I get like my wife would buy this something new, and then she would come say, "You see the difference, right?" Shane, how many times did you hear that? Hey, Shane, baby, do I look brighter? Is my skin brighter? Oh yeah, fuck yeah, it's so much brighter.
I think
I need my shades. I fucking need my shades. What did you use?
I think I'm too oblivious to even ask, but
no, but like it's too like, and the eye cream and this 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 cream and the Cindy Crawford shit and the Elysium stuff, and come on, man. So I think, Robert, it doesn't work also for women. It's not like it's fucking working. It's not working. It's bullshit. If it worked, it would be $1 billion a bottle for women. And I think men today, different from 20, 30 years ago, also want to look better. They also want to look younger. So I think, for the 1% that it does maybe something, like it's like greens powder. It's like multivitamin. Listen, there was so much research around multivitamin that it doesn't do a lot, right? And then did people stop using it? No, the industry is growing like crazy.
But don't you think that
maybe there's 1%? Fuck it, I'll take it. That's
but,
the way people
but you know what? It's a visual effect, and do you think people will stick to it?
Yes.
Like, will they keep buying it?
Yes.
Even if they
out of it, they'll placebo.
Even if they don't see the results, you think they will continue buying it?
Placebo, they'll placebo the shit out of it.
See, I think to
cosmetics.
Robert's point.
Yeah.
To Robert's point, I think it's not necessarily. I think this is the same with the energy drink category. It's not necessarily that is our current audience going to be taking these beauty supplements, because they may not. They might just be like, yeah, that's not for me. But I think it works the other way around. If people who are constantly buying beauty supplements then go, oh shit, Ghost has a beauty supplement, I'll check it out. Oh, they make all this other stuff like a plant protein, a pre-workout. They're now bringing people in from the beauty industry who may not have ever even heard of or even thought about supplements, are now going to be thinking about trying protein powder, going to be trying pre-workout. Right. Because if that brand like Ghost makes it seem like, they make it very appealing that a beauty supplement is as important as an amino or a protein, and these people who are only taking beauty supplements don't give two shits about that stuff before, we're bringing in people from the beauty world, which is probably much larger than the sports nutrition world.
Right.
You're now bridging kind of like energy drinks. If someone who likes energy drinks discovers, a 3D Energy or America Labs, and then they go and try their pre-workout, they are now into supplements because they probably would never have stumbled across it. So I think that it clashes markets. While it may not appeal to everyone here, it could certainly bring people outside of our industry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is like, with the energy drinks, when they came out, all of a sudden you have shitload of companies right now releasing left and right energy drinks, even though they basically all the same. You just pick your flavor and that's it. My question is, and I'm not arguing or disputing what you're saying, but number one, the question is, Ghost, as far as I know, is the only company right now that is doing something like that.
No, SteelFit has one out too.
Okay, so among
there are a few.
Yeah, so say take for example Ghost, because they're so well known. They have, I don't know how many products they have, but do you think among the top sellers?
I don't know.
It's a young category,
so it's hard to say, right?
It's such a young category also.
Yeah, I think it would be a long game thing as well. I mean, you can't expect it to sell as well as things at Sephora or like Forever 21 or anything like at these beauty stores. You could, I mean, again,
I agree.
That's the thing. If
different audience, like
these
girls are like young kids,
will be available in Sephora or any other cosmetics.
Yeah. No, but I think there's a category. I wouldn't be. I'll give you just an example, Robert. Let's take an example. You have tomorrow an energy drink. On purpose, I'm taking the energy drink, right?
Okay.
Energy drink, and then I add to the energy drink, whatever collagen, right? 3 grams of collagen, and I'm telling you, you'll say that energy drink also has collagen, and there's some research that shows that it helps with skin and hair. People will buy it. Why? Not. Why not? Fuck it. Okay. Why not? Take it. And then they'll say, I'm drinking this anyway. I'll take it. And then I think that it's a very young category, but this is one of these things. Listen, people will sell their grandma for the potential. It's just a fact. That's what people do.
Okay, so I have NutriTalks. So I have SteelFit getting into beauty in 2018. Genius did it the month before them in 2018.
Oh yeah,
NutriTalks did it early last year. Pervitum, the Tiger Fitness brand. PES Science did it late last year with Renuvia with their hair, skin, and nails beauty formula. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Swedish Supplements, Body and Fit out of USN from South Africa. GNC came out with their dedicated beauty brand.
Oh, so it's a lot of companies then.
My Protein did.
Right?
Yeah, like I said, these are dating back 2018. My Protein did collagen beauty sticks.
Yeah.
AK-47 Labs, don't forget their Pure Beauty.
Oh yeah.
And then you had just recently the big Swedish company Veterna, who partnered with a celebrity in Sweden for her own line of beauty supplements.
Unique line, yeah.
I mean, looking at that history, it's a I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a snowball effect, but it'd be cool because it's like what Ghost did. It brought its taste to the category. I think it'll do. It could be the gaming category of 2021. I mean, it should be. It should again. I think that people would be more inclined to spend because again, it doesn't come with exercise, right?
Yeah.
If you can look beautiful with just powder without squatting, I mean, shit, I'll do that.
Do you think? And I'll post this. This will be an extension of the beauty line. Do you think it's disingenuous to a certain extent if these hardcore supplement companies start releasing that? So right when the COVID hysteria broke loose, you had every company under the sun, like all these hardcore bodybuilding companies, throwing out immune supplements. Oh, support your immune system, take care of your daily health, all this bullshit. When for years they've been saying, crush it hard in the gym, push yourself as hard, bleed from your eyeballs, and then or take this. They're not pushing general health, and then all of a sudden they do that. Do you think it's a little disingenuous if like some of these super hardcore companies, Animal, Allmax, and any other hardcore lines says, oh well, here's now Animal Beauty, here's Primeval Skin and Hair or something like that.
I think that TJ just actually answered that question beautifully. These fuckers will sell their grandmother for $1. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. I don't think that. I think it's coming. 100% it's coming. It's just a matter of time.
Well,
they don't give a shit whether it works or doesn't work. I mean, for the majority of time, it's all about the money, and that's it. It's a placebo effect. The companies will release just about anything for $1. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. In terms of like, is it honest or not? Who the fuck cares? Most of them don't.
I think it's going to come from companies that you expect them to do, right?
Yeah.
Like if I don't know. I mean, if Cellucor did it or like Muscle Tech did it, it would kind of seem fitting because they do that. They stretch themselves out to cover these categories, right? But then when you get a more dedicated brand, like
Redcon, if Redcon one going to come out with a skin
Redcon one did
supplement?
it, I wouldn't be surprised. Like they have categories covered from gaming to like I'm surprised they haven't done a collagen yet. That would also seem fitting.
Yeah.
Like these big brands, But see, the thing is, if I asked Robert if he was going to do a beauty supplement, there's your answer. Because no matter if he says yes, no matter if he says no, his fans are going to be like, yeah, that makes sense. But he says no. And his fans will be like, yeah, that makes sense. So I think the brands that'll do it, you would expect it from.
But you just mentioned Steel. I mean, Steel is considered pretty hardcore. At least, I mean, that's the way they positioned themselves initially.
To be fair, I think that like they are hardcore. But if you remember, they did topicals. And they had guns of steel, abs of steel, and buns of steel. And their buns of steel was like a pink topical for your ass, right? So, like, I mean, it's not they were already in the women's side of things. I mean, guys can put it on their ass too, but I mean, it's so it wasn't. And that Steel Beauty was same color, same kind of theme.
It's their women's line.
So it was a nice branch. It didn't seem too much of a stretch, but I think. The companies that'll do it will do it, and it'll but then at the same time, some companies will bring their flair to it. Some companies will bring their taste to it. Maybe Apollon will figure out a twist and be Steel ugly. Apollon ugly. I don't know, something different. I don't know. Yeah, it's I think a twist on it. I think it would be cool to see that many people do it because again, the more they do it, the more the industry will get noticed. Because there's probably tons of beauty supplement companies that don't make protein powder or pre-workout. Mm-hmm. And again, the more that we bring over, the damn better.
Okay. All right. Well, let's jump into some of the comments. And for all of you listeners, thanks for hanging with us so far. You got any other questions, comments, smart-ass remarks for the panel? Any incendiary comments, feel free to fire them up, and we'll address them all as we embark on the second half of this podcast now.
I like that dream team.
Damn straight.
Warms my heart so much. Thank you for that comment.
Yeah, thanks, Devin. He's one of the OG supporters.
It's all positive vibes here today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did he just show up? I was like, why is everyone commenting now?
No, I was putting him on the side.
Oh, Dino is here.
That's for you, Shane. That's the ring that you designed.
Oh, yeah.
Piper, and I'm not sure, Heinz Krups, can you elaborate more on why you're saying Piper?
I think he's saying Piper is an overrated, underrated, potentially.
Maybe so.
Because I tell you what, the most used ingredient right now is probably that.
Probably so, and I don't think most companies that are throwing it in their products understand how in the hell it's working, or that it only works with a select few compounds.
I mean, I mean, it is the most used ingredient, I would say, out of everything.
Black pepper extract, in my opinion, underrated definitely.
I think
Tribulus might help keep test levels. I'm not sold on Tribulus. Libido, sure, but actual testosterone, meh.
You may laugh, but still, the Tribulus in Europe is pretty popular, and
yeah. I'm not debating whether it's popular or not. I'm
people
just
are
saying,
still
is it
buying
actually
stuff.
effective? I mean, popular
Yeah.
versus effective are two different things.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, of course, man. I'm just saying from my perspective that people are still. It's funny, like some people are still like searching for ingredients such as like AKG, carnitine, Tribulus, those kind of things. They're still like in this like I don't know gold era of
European basics are so strange compared to like the US basics.
You remember when we were going through FIBO and there were some companies with like selling like this like solo ingredients, and you could see like tons of like AKG, those kind of things. So yeah, man.
And then I had a product and it was like 5 types of arginine, and I'm like, sounds fantastic. I mean, whatever. Good.
But it's still
a Polish Tribulus. It's prime. You need to get into it.
Yeah, Polish Tribulus.
Because there's Tribulus.
And now the Polish CBD as well. One company from Germany is also manufacturing CBD in Poland, and it's selling throughout the.
We got New Zealand Way. Apparently, that's like premium shit.
There you go.
Yeah, man. When you jump on here next year, you're gonna be like.
I remember when I first saw it, people were like, "We got the most premium New Zealand Way isolate," and I was like, "What the fuck is so special about that shit?"
Foreign.
I've been here.
The cows are listening to music. That's why.
There you go. It'll make you grow a third testicle. It's that anabolic.
Because our cows are all farm fed. Like I hadn't heard of farm fed until I left the country because I have to assume that all of our stuff is grass fed kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think that might be part of it, but it's still a long way to ship just because your cows eat grass. That's all. We're not close.
But I've heard that in New Zealand the regulations are very strict as far as like the feeding of cows with grass and everything. So
I've never seen a cow. I mean, I just know if you drive outside of the city, it's just cows and sheep in fields. That's literally it. So, which is apparently strange to me. That's normal, but and that's your New Zealand Way isolate. Boom.
There you go.
Native.
Premium. I don't think it's native. I don't think we have those facilities.
No.
I don't know. No, because we do a New Zealand. I think there's a New Zealand Way concentrate, and when I saw that, I was like, "Yeah, that's more like it." So
in Scotland, native way is very popular. Many companies are picking up the isolate and.
Well, that's in the UK. It's like a much more developed country than us.
Yep. Hold on. Oh, that's a question. That's a question.
Maybe estrogen suppressant.
How about Apollon bollock? Like just one word. Like make it Apolloc.
I think it's gonna fucking draw attention. That's for sure.
I think yeah.
Robic, make it with DAA.
But see, I don't classify. I don't like classifying testosterone boosters in the same realm as anabolic. But then I know people confuse the two. Mm-hmm. They'll just be like, it's test booster. But technically, like when you call it like a muscle builder or like a or an anabolic, they kind of get roped together. I think just a muscle builder, not necessarily they don't need to go together, but those two overlap a lot with people.
I mean, we had a product actually under Anarchy Labs that was called Warrior, and that product was more of an estrogen suppressant, and people definitely felt it. I mean, especially those that would come off, a drug cycle, or those that wanted something more natural. So
was it PCT?
It was like a PCT because it had a heavy dose of of arimistane, and it had a heavy dose of luxogenin. So it definitely worked. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, people liked it. People liked it a lot. And I'm actually working on something right now that, Robert, I think I sent you, right, the formula. Working on something, and Robert liked it. I mean, if he likes it, that says a lot.
Whoa.
So, I mean, it's not a testosterone booster like direct. I would still not call it, or be comfortable calling it, a direct testosterone booster, because, from everything I've ever seen, once your testosterone goes down, it goes down. And like I said, like Robert said also, there are certain products that might elevate your testosterone by, I don't know, 50 milligram or something like that. It's going to be a minuscule amount to actually feel substantial difference when it comes to lifting weights, recovery. I think you're going to get more from a sleep formula because you're going to recover better, which in essence is good for your natural GH production and stuff like that. But you can definitely make a product that will increase your libido or help increase your libido. I'm not going to say that it's going to be a Viagra type of product, but you definitely can get that, and you can get something that will suppress estrogen to a point where your muscles will look harder and you're going to be tighter. From Warrior, there were some people who would complain that they felt their joints hurt. And that's the same effect that you're going to get from a prescription estrogen blocker like an anastrozole or letrozole. You will feel your joints actually hurt because you kind of you have that drying out effect. So I think that something like that, we're definitely going to release. But, I don't feel comfortable calling it a direct testosterone booster, because to me, testosterone boosting is definitely TRT. I mean, there is no way around it. It's the truth.
Just not sure what to do with if my libido actually increases. I mean, seriously, I have zero use for it. So that would be as effective as BCAA for me.
TJ. I'm so glad you are a part of this podcast.
Based on a true story. You should be laughing. This is actually sad.
Just look it up. Google it. It's science.
Google this shit.
You know what? Speaking of CBD, have you noticed, or maybe I'm wrong, I just think that the whole CBD explosion on the market and all the hype and everything else, I mean, probably Shane is the best person to answer this, and maybe TJ. I think the hype went down considerably. It's not as... Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see people talking about CBD like they used to maybe a year or two ago, where it was literally every fucking product CBD. I think that, maybe I'm wrong, but I think people caught up with the fact that it's bullshit. I think the demand is less. Again, I might be wrong on this.
I think what happened is, to your point earlier, and actually this is sort of in line with this discussion around beauty or whatever, appearance supplements. CBD came out at the beginning. It was really hot, and everybody tried it for something because there was a lot of noise, right? I think the problem with CBD is that there's not a lot of very, I would say, targeted effect, right? It's not supposed. If someone would say, "Hey, if you take CBD, you're going to look better," then I think the market would still be super hyped because but it was so general. It was supposed to help you with fucking everything. It was you have whatever, a broken leg. Oh my God, take CBD, it's going to be fine, right? So I think that it actually it was sort of, I want to say, mismarketed as it's the cure for fucking everything.
You think they went too far?
Too far.
Yeah, they took the shotgun approach instead of being more targeted.
Yeah. If they would just say, hey, listen, if you take CBD, here's you know what? Let me do a marketing experiment on your knuckleheads, right? There's a research. It was done in one of these labs where they did the S7 research that showed that if you take CBD, you're gonna add 30 days to your life expectancy.
Oh
huge
my
market.
God.
Fucking huge market. People will take
I'm gonna order it.
30 days.
I'm ordering some now.
Yeah, right?
If I take it 3 times, does that mean I get 3 months?
Yeah, exactly. That's what people would start asking. Now, if I just tell you, hey, it helps with everything, You're gonna feel good. You're gonna look great. Oh, it's gonna solve your back pain, your this pain. You're gonna chill. You're gonna gain muscle while you're chilling. You're gonna sleep better while you're working out. You're gonna what the fuck does that even do? They went way too far, too broad, not specific. If they just came out and said, "Hey, man, you take this," literally 80% of people got their dick longer by like an inch. Okay, great. I'm gonna take and continue trying. Again, me personally, I have nothing to do with the longer dicks, like I mentioned, but people who actually have something to do with it.
I think.
So you think they went too far and it backfired?
I think it's still around. I think the industry is still very much around. It's still very not popular.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably less popular.
Constantly use it though, Shane. I don't know a lot of people that say, "Man, I CBD every day."
So last year. Early last year, I asked a couple of big brands, I said, "Are you guys going to do CBD?" And he said, "Look, man, that thing exploded so fast and got so many new brands in there, like there's no room to make margin." He said, "There's zero room to make margin."
Competitive.
And so, like, what I think we saw was that I think it's still doing well, but I think that we aren't seeing sports nutrition companies.
Experimental.
I think sports brands aren't getting them.
Guys, as you can see, CBD right now is basically they infused it everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it is everywhere.
From drinks to basically to protein, even to all different kinds of shit. And the customer is confused, just like TJ said. It's like
what does it do? What's supposed to happen?
There's not one just like general statement that will say, for example, that CBD is good for sleep. No, it's good for fucking everything right now. And the customer right now is like, what the hell, So I can drink it. I can like put it on my ass. I can like put it on my skin and just like do shit with everything, So it's like.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing less sports nutrition brands doing it. I mean, the fact that it's everywhere and like even when they got the CBD beverages, these companies aren't doing it for like no reason. I mean, they're doing it probably, but I think that
it's hot, right? They're doing it because it's hot. Yeah.
But I think that we're seeing because, like, last year before, it was like everybody was coming out with their own little tinctures, but that definitely slowed down early last year. Like it just, but you still saw more dedicated CBD brands pop up.
If they stuck, I think the CBD, like I said, went too far. Marketing wise, if they stuck to one or two promises, for example, hey, it's going to help with pain. Okay, great. Yeah. Muscle pain, joint pain, just going to help with pain. If it was like a pain thing, I'm telling you, just the placebo effect would be enough to keep this market huge. If they said sleep, fine, like Lukasz said. The problem is literally, even me, that I'm in the space and I see a lot of this stuff, and I get 3 emails a day from CBD companies that want to and shit like that. I'm sure you do also, Shane. Like, but I read it and I said, what the fuck does this thing supposed to do? What am I supposed to feel? Like, what is it? It's like, it's everything. It's impossible to understand what this shit does. I think they went too far. Anyway, went too far.
Yes, I think this guy's comments about right, like how you have, I mean, it's still very, very, it's just established now. I think
it's a thing. It's a thing.
But I think people don't necessarily need to know it's kind of like with the beauty supplements again. The cosmetics. Like when my wife, she has it and she shows me the active ingredients and I'm like, hey, some of that's in supplements, but like she wouldn't know. It just says help with complexion.
Right.
Yeah. Doesn't really like mind.
Yeah. I think to some extent it's like the multivitamin effects, right? Just have it, you're going to be better. It's a better thing. But you're not reading all the vitamins there and saying, you're just saying, hey, I'm taking a multivitamin. Why multivitamins are good? Why are you taking CBD? It's good. I think it's going to continue to be a strong category for a long time just because of the whatever. It's just been established right now.
I think it exploded like just like nothing else. And
because what happened is people were waiting for the legalization for so long. There was so much like buzz behind, oh my God, once this thing is legalized and you can actually start using this shit, it's going to cure everything. Like literally the world is going to have a before and after transformation pictures. So
TJ, I don't recall this, but has any company at ever point sent you anything with CBD to review? I don't know. Have you reviewed any products?
I have a few things here. I never reviewed it.
You never reviewed it.
A lot of people reaching out and asking for stuff, like saying, hey, listen, I have this, I launched this brand. Really, some of them look like decent people. I have this, I say, why is this different? And you'll hear people say, oh, mine is isolate and mine is purity. And I'm not saying it's not. I'm just, I don't even know, like literally, let's say I'll review it. What do I review? What am I supposed? I'm literally not sure what am I supposed to review.
80% bigger penis, isn't that what it is?
I'm afraid to review that thing. That's gonna be like what? 2 more inches?
It's still a win, man.
That 1%. You said chasing the 1%. You get 80%.
It always counts, man.
You let me know because 2 inches on my arms would be insane.
All right, we're gonna.
Let's
transition away from
here with my. I don't think it's gonna get any longer, if you know what I mean. So let's wrap this thing up.
Shane, you got any quick hits for us before we put a bow on this bitch?
Okay,
That's a hard act to follow now. No pun.
That's what she said.
Oh god. Okay. I'm gonna start with Robert Glaxon. They got their season 2 coming, which they talked about earlier in the year. It's meant to be sort of what you would typically see from a company in 2-3 years, but it's coming now, 10 months in. We kind of got a full review. I think we talked about this last week a bit, so we kind of got a good idea on what they're actually doing. They're revamping every supplement, reformulating, I'm assuming, every supplement, tweaking the branding. They came out with the new version of Plasm Surge. Now they've got a hydration supplement. Have you seen what they've done so far? Do you like what you see? Are you hyped for it? Complete revamp, complete reformulation. I mean, it's no small undertaking, but yeah.
Yes, wait. Were you asking me or Robbie?
I was asking Robert. Sorry, Robert. I just realized you're looking really excited for a second.
Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is gonna be
something better.
This is gonna be shameless plug for the Supplement Engineer podcast. But I just had Michael Bischoff, on this past Thursday, so that episode debuted on Friday of this past week. So we did a deep dive into season 2, all that. So for the listeners out there, go back and check out that episode. And I've been.
It was a great episode, by the way, Robert.
That was good.
Very good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I do my best to not be a complete douchebag when I'm interviewing people. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, you were sweet. You were so sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I've been privy to some of the behind the scenes stuff that Glaxon's been doing. As far as I like the formulas. I even told Michael this on the episode, is that when you guys first launched, the branding was cool, was spot on. It was appealing to me. But I was always very skeptical of the formulas because, I know what the research shows for these individual ingredients. And then when you start putting them together, I'm seeing stuff that is maybe, not the same as what the research is showing. But then you use it. And like to TJ's point that he always says a label is just a label. And there's you noticed shit that they did a very, very good job with that. So that being said, I like the new packaging. The new pump formula, it's very simple if you look at the profile, but I've been beta testing it for a couple of weeks now. I really like it. They crushed the flavor. The apple juice flavor is very, very good. And their new electrolyte formula. There are so many. We saw a huge influx of electrolyte formulas on the market over the past 6-8 months or whatever. And I think they're all very, very underwhelming because they put in maybe 1% of your daily value of sodium, 1% magnesium with this. Glaxon comes out and gives you like 15% of potassium, 20% magnesium. I mean, huge doses to where people that are working out outside, endurance athletes, ultra marathoners, those kind of people are going to really find, I think, benefit from this. And I would like to try that electrolyte formula because I've seen so many come on the market and they're just pathetically dosed. I mean, it's basically Mio is all it is. But the Astrolite formula, I love the flavorings that they've been doing for everything. I don't think I've had a bad tasting supplement from them. Some people weren't nuts about the original flavor of Sedative, their sleep formula. I liked it. I just dry scooped it. Yeah, I didn't have any issues with it.
But I didn't. I dry scooped it, but I can understand how the taste wasn't.
Yeah.
The bee's knees, because
Yeah,
thought it
but I
was
mean, all in all, I'm a big fan. I'm curious to see. Michael said I don't know if we're going to end up doing this, next year and setting ourselves up for that. But he said this was the right time to go ahead and pull the trigger on this because we're growing. We've made some really good partnerships that are going forward that are going to be able to launch us to the next phase of everything. So
yeah, I think it's huge for
Yep.
a company to do it this soon. And I kind of like that they felt that there was enough changes for them that it seemed fit, which was cool. I'll move to you. I'll move to you, Robert, since you're all jazzed up. I have the new flavor of Bang Energy. Did you see it?
No.
Okay. Well, you haven't checked Stack today. It was up this morning, so you'll see it. But it's key lime pie.
I saw that. Sorry. I saw key lime pie. Not because the I didn't know that it was Bang, but I saw key lime pie and I was like, you know what? That's something new. But yeah, I didn't know it was Bang, but I saw the flavor. Yes.
See, I'm not like I don't know if it's an American thing, but I've never ever had a key lime pie in my life. Neither have I had a pumpkin pie. And I mean, if it tastes on point, do you think it will be enjoyable?
You know what? I know why you asking me this question, but the truth is like, I live in the States for the past 23 years. I never had pumpkin pie. And I'm like, I don't even try. I never tried cranberry sauce because it just turns me off. I mean, it's just not my thing. It's a very, very American thing. Key lime pie, though, I did try, and I liked it. I didn't love it, so I don't know if it's gonna taste exactly like that. Bang flavors.
Well, that's what
yeah. Typically, Bang flavors are pretty good, so I'm not gonna dispute that. Will it be popular? I think it's going to bring attention to the company for sure, and it's a very, very American flavor. I don't think, but again, I could be wrong. I don't think it's going to be, even if it tastes exactly like key lime pie, I don't think it's going to be among the best selling flavors, because I just don't think key lime pie is among the best selling pies in general. You have a certain following that certain people like it and that's it, but I don't think it's like anything like pumpkin pie or pecan pie or one of those more popular pies in the United States. But again, could be wrong. Robert, what do you think about this?
I'm not a big key lime pie fan. Sandy is. I like chocolate pie and chocolate peanut butter, and I don't know. I think Ghost is kind of missing the mark on some of their past few flavors. The birthday cake I wasn't nuts about. The Miami Cola was god awful. I haven't had a Bang in I don't know how. Miami Cola was the last time I think I tried a Bang. It was very, very underwhelming, and I almost feel like Bang at this point is kind of like CBD.
Trying too hard.
Well, yeah, they're trying too hard. And they're spamming everything to where it's like, all right, well, here's another week, here's a new flavor, Bang.
They just have to do that, right? I mean, they're so big right now, and they need to bring something new so people feel excited, and there's a lot of competition and pressure.
Yeah,
so you have to do that because there's like 500 different brands out there with 500 different flavors, and they're the flavor kings, and they are the ones that are supposed to push innovation. So they'll have key lime pie, and I mean, the cost of experimenting is not that high.
No.
So they'll continue to experiment.
It tastes like key lime pie.
Sorry?
They said it tastes like key lime pie. Like apparently,
the limited edition.
They had the birthday cake one, which sounded funky. I didn't like it. There was a birthday cake. I didn't like that one also because it doesn't make sense. I mean, first it wasn't like a good taste. It doesn't sound right to drink a key lime pie. Like drinking a pie just doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
But I think they're experimenting. I totally get where they're coming from, and I would probably do the same because again, like the cost of experimenting is not high. We're talking about it. You're posting it. It's a new Bang flavor. They'll continue, and even if it's like controversial, I think it works to their advantage as in the sense of hey, Bang is innovating in this space. They're coming out with something. Tomorrow they'll come out with something that sounds even more disgusting. Nobody cares because it's them being in the news with a new flavor.
Interesting. I mean, like I said, I haven't had a key lime pie, so it's just like I don't know if it was my
thing. We're missing out on
pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie.
Robert said he never had pumpkin pie.
Disgrace,
Robert.
I honestly like. the only memory I have of pumpkin is when I used to go to my nana's house on Friday when I was like 7, and she would serve roast dinners with potatoes, beans, carrots, and this big slab of pumpkin. And I would throw up before I ate that thing. It just was. I'm like, and then sometimes she would disguise it like kumara, like sweet potato,
Mm-hmm.
and like mix it with the potatoes. So no matter which way you went, I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. And then when I started hearing about this pumpkin pie thing, I was like, I can't even eat pumpkin. You don't need to put it in a damn pie to make me want to eat it. I don't want to eat it at all. Anyway,
I like it actually.
Feel the same.
And I didn't grow up in America, but I like a good pumpkin pie. I'm game.
look, man, we're going pies. Just give me a chocolate pie. Done.
I'm good.
Definitely.
Oh man, I'm not.
Pecan pie.
Pecan
No,
pie.
I'm not. Yeah, let's see. That's another American thing. It's pecan is. It's not a nut you find very commonly in New Zealand or other places of the world, actually.
Really?
Shane,
Okay, so-
what about apple pie?
You see, this is the other thing that when I like apple pie, we were introduced to apple pie in McDonald's. You know the little long.
Yeah,
Not
the whole fried
again.
pie things. Yeah.
That's what we call apple pies. Like,
But is
yeah,
it popular in New Zealand?
I don't know. I mean, I've had it, like, but I mean, again, I'm like, if you're gonna be like, hey, here's pumpkin pie, here's pecan pie, here's fucking apple pie, I'm like, look, bro, get rid of my fruit and vegetables. Okay, I want chocolate for dessert. That's what I do. Don't give me this stuff that I was meant to have for dinner and trick me. This sounds like something my mum would do. Be like, eat your vegetables, have a broccoli pie. No, just give me chocolate. Get out of here. Anyway, next one. Okay, so
Also, Shannon, I want to interrupt you real quick. Heinz, thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate your support for the podcast and helping us advertise it around. Thank you, sir.
Thanks
or
a
ma'am.
lot, man.
I'm not sure what Heinz is, but thank you.
So this one's for TJ. I don't know if I should do this, but I'm sure you can, forget the last one and put your mind and take this seriously because we haven't seen what it's going to be yet. So caged muscle.
Right.
I will admit, as much as caged muscle is like I didn't think pre-cage sport wasn't as game changing as I thought. They've been pretty busy. They've been pretty intense for like the last 2 months. I cannot deny they did flavors, they've done products, they did, and now they've got they've actually got 4 new supplements coming. One of which they haven't revealed. I suspect is a focus supplement. Their little Instagram cue was like, hopefully this image will give you more clarity. So I was like, okay, but they've got a naturals line coming out. You got Outlive 100 is in there. It's an entire line of all natural vegan supplements. They got Outlive 100, which is their superfood formula. They have a multivitamin, and then they have a plant-based protein powder.
Plantain, something, right? Something like that. Plantain.
Oh yeah, so yeah, plantain. It's like mixed of plant and protein. Yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on it? They have, like I said, Cage is kind of almost. I mean, it's looking like it's potentially going to double the size of its like complex lineup in the last 2 months, and now they're going all natural. It was an interesting move. A lot of people said, or some people said, they were just like, oh, "This is something they should have done a while ago." But yeah, what do you think? What do you think? I think it's a good fit. But yeah, what's your take on it?
A good fit. I think from a branding perspective, first, like a nootropic makes perfect sense. I mean, it was probably just a matter of time before they came out.
I think that's what I said. Yeah.
So I think that makes perfect sense. It aligns with the rest of the stuff they've done, and I think a natural version is a natural expansion, and a multivitamin makes perfect. I think they're going NutraBio like, right? Like they're the second coming of NutraBio in the sense of like, think about it. It's very similar. I think it's very similar brand promise. Very similar values theoretically that they stand for, and very similar audience. I would say that they're like whatever sisters or brothers or whatever brands. So I think makes perfect sense. Expand the line, go more natural, stand theoretically behind, hey, we're quality and we're going to help you live a healthy lifestyle and focus on performance. Makes perfect sense. If it makes sense for NutraBio, it would make sense for them. And I think that's exactly where they're going with the brand. So I don't see any problem with that. I think if someone, like if Robbie comes with Apollon with something like some sort of a line for soft line, that would feel very strange. But because he's an angry person, look at that face. Look at that. Do you see that face coming up?
Yeah, did you see the animation? Do you see the
Yeah.
seriousness?
Yeah. He's like,
But you know what? Actually, don't you think that Caged Muscle was initially, again, I think so at least, initially was entered the market as a hardcore
I don't think
brand?
so. I think it was
Yeah, I
performance.
don't know.
I think it was, like I said, it was like, hey, everybody likes NutraBio and gym supplements, and like in the sense of what they represent as far as quality. I think Kate came and said, hey, quality plus performance based, because I'm Chris Getting, right?
No,
So-
but what I mean is, what I mean is like you said, if Apollon came with something softer, or and Shane mentioned it too, our core audience or our core loyal customers would be upset, and they would say that we are selling out. It's possible, not saying that it necessarily would happen, but if you look at Caged Muscle, you have Chris Gethin, who is covered with tattoos.
Yeah,
You
but it's soft.
Yeah.
Come on. I've never read
Yeah, he
this post.
he doesn't come off.
Fucker talks Shakespeare half of the time.
He doesn't
He's
come
not-
off as
he's
hardcore.
not- very cerebral. No, I'm not saying. I mean, it sounded bad, but actually, I mean, it's very cerebral. It's very soft. Very like muse type thing, like yoga and whatever. It's not the tattoos. Is just a thing he likes, right? So I don't think Caged was ever hardcore. I think Caged was NutraBio, performance oriented. NutraBio, Chris Getting, work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Jim. He's kind of like Jim, similar, but I would
Yeah.
never think Jim's hardcore. He's got
I agree.
content.
Yeah, I agree. And so I think the problem, Robic, if you came out with something like that, then it's not like someone said you're going to sell out. I just think you're going to lose your hardcore audience.
I
Because
agree.
it's so
I agree.
out of brand, right? For Caged, for Gym, for NutraBio, it's not out of brand. It's it's everybody has a different audience. So I think for the Caged audience, it makes perfect sense. I don't see any problem with that. I think it's natural expansion for the brand and what they stand for. And I think for Apollon to do something soft like that would feel funky, right? Like
Okay.
I don't think it would feel right. But like a lot of other hardcore brands. So yeah, I think Caged makes sense, Shane. It's like NutraBio, Gym. I think it makes sense. It's a performance-based, high-quality, healthy lifestyle. It's a healthy lifestyle brand more than hardcore meathead brand, right?
Awesome. Okay, so we got Lukasz. I've actually got options for you, Lukasz. You get to choose. So we have. I'm not going to tell you what they are though. But so there's a UK brand, there is a collab, or there is an apparel brand doing something pretty cool. You pick.
Let's go with the first one.
Okay. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think so.
CMP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So CMP is a well-established legacy UK brand. Been around for what did they say, like 20 years or something? I'm pretty sure they mentioned. Yeah. Been
A
around
long
for
time.
2 decades. I've seen them all over the place in different countries. They kind of had this like second win this past year. They introduced that series with the different pre-workouts. And now they've done what I like. You don't usually see something like this from a legacy brand. You don't usually like I said with Robic, you typically get what you can expect. You very rarely get something like, holy shit, why the hell are they doing that? That's what CMP is doing. They're doing a pre-workout called Stim Junkie, which is flat out, like, from what I understand, an intense stimulant pre-workout, which again, you don't expect coming from them. They've tend to be more mainstream, like most legacy brands. They try and give you something that applies to everyone. It's very rare that you'd see someone do something so specialized like this. I haven't seen the formula. I suspect it. I mean, again, everyone's interpretation of stimulant and intense is different. Robic might look at it and be like, Lukasz might be like, holy shit, everyone's different. So what do you think about it's a big, it may not seem big because it's not like a huge global, like it's not Cellucor or Muscle Tech, But it is, for as far as UK goes, it's the big brand doing something, I would say, quite different, out of character almost. What's your take?
Yeah, you know what? I think that in like 2 years, I think I've been following them and their releases, and I think they did some decent job. We personally don't do any business with them and don't have any distribution, but I'm keep up to date with all their releases and trying to like see what they are trying to offer to customers. From what I remember, like this year they launched like 2 products or something, or
They
or
did
last year.
did a couple limited flavors. They had a basic
Some
ashwagandha.
protein. I remember protein was
Yeah,
one
they had a meal replacement. I think late last year they finished with their plant-based series.
Yeah, they were also working on a protein bar.
Yes,
I think so.
they had the protein. Oh no, they had the protein cooker. That was in their vegan range, and they
Yeah.
had their protein smoothie. They've done a few. They've done a good amount, but they've definitely kicked things off and revamped it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just, I don't know.
Personally, I wasn't expecting, to be honest, that they were gonna launch the Stim Junkie. I hope it's not gonna be advertised as a game changer or anything like this.
No, that's a different kind of brand.
Yeah, but it's. I saw your write up on the site, and once I see the formula, I can like.
Yeah, it's still subjective right now.
Yeah, I can give you my insight, but you know they're saying that there's gonna be lots of different complexes, like from energy to anti-crash to what else, supercharger.
They've got like a whole bunch of
I've got the
blends
right
and
up.
complexes in there.
Yeah, I've got it right up on my screen now, and so yeah. But you know, we shall see. You know, I'm not gonna bash before before the formula is gonna be released.
I'm just hoping that it is as good. Like I'm hoping we see these intense grey market stims. Like usually when someone hypes something up like this, it can go either way. I'm hoping they deliver because I
just hope that more brands gonna go with a different path. So they're not gonna like offer like citrulline 6 grams, beta alanine 3.2 grams, creatine 5 grams. It's just like
CBD.
Yeah, man. It's just so boring, you know. Especially nowadays, like people are trying to offer like the exactly same thing in different bottles and just like different branding, and just this doesn't make sense to me, you know. I think that's why, you know, brands like Glaxon are unique, and they are offering to customers some different thing, you know, and that's why, you know, as we can see, it's like it's been like how many 8-10 months, and they are like doing the second season. It's crazy, you know, but it's super impressive, you know, and I think that they're up to something. They're increasing their distribution, which shows, you know, there's huge success, and that's why I think that many brands are like messing up, and they are, you know, they're like offering the exactly same thing while they should like just go a bit different direction. I'm not saying that they should infuse their products with CBD and put like tons of mass gainers into their products, but at the same time, it's like, for example, instead of coming with another pre-workout, let's just like offer customer, for example, a sleep formula, or maybe like a greens formula or something like that. Start your line with those kind of things. So yeah, man, it's like that's my take on it, you know.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it turns out.
Yeah, man. Me too. I wanted to ask you, Shane, one question.
Oh wait,
can I say goodbye to
TJ's going.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Take care. Robert, stop being angry. Robert, come on.
Yeah,
he lights up.
Look at that. That's the lights up version. It's going to kill The gulag was a long time ago, Robert.
Imagine being angry.
Shane, before we end up the podcast, I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite story of this week? Because we always you always asking us about
that's
the
because
stories. But I wanted to ask you, what was your top favorite?
Oh, you know what? I know my top favorite, and you didn't pick it.
Yeah.
It's Be Legend. You know what I'm talking about. Be Legend, the Japanese brand.
Oh yeah.
Of all the brands I've shared, like that I've come across and been interested in,
Yeah.
I just love a brand that like almost seemingly doesn't give two shits about any other market other than itself, right?
Yeah.
Like they put their products in Japanese, their brand name's Be Legend, it's the only English part. They don't write the label in English. None of it's in English. They have no interest outside of their market. They're trying to hit their country. They make flavors for their own, for their audience. They got weird things like probably strange to me, but it's prime for them. They got like a lemon tart protein powder. They got a like a chai tea. They got all these different things, and they collab more than any other brand that I've seen. And they partner with popular manga and anime characters and pop culture. They did a Hello Kitty protein. They did they partnered with Gundam Wing, and this week they've teamed up with Street Fighter. It's the second time they've teamed up with Street Fighter, the video games, specifically Street Fighter 5. And they put the character from the game on the bag, and they named the flavor after its signature move.
Yeah.
And I was like,
badass.
And the thing is,
that's
like,
pretty cool.
And like they,
do you guys saw the picture of the package?
It's so like it's just not
insane.
what it's just so like in your face that like it's like Street Fighter, eat shit, like take it. This is and like I don't know. Every time I see a collab from them and it's so individual. It's so different, and it might only seem different because it's not a country that I'm like from or been for a long time. But it's and they just team up so often, and they do these like once every almost 2 to 4 weeks. They're constantly teaming up, getting with pop culture, and they do T-shirts, protein powders, aminos, different flavors. And the Street Fighter one for the Street Fighter fans, it's Ken and Chun-Li, two of the series' big characters. And I'm pretty sure the flavor they did it in such a cool way that they teased the product, then they said who the collab was with, then they showed the product, then they said the name of the flavor based on the move, and then they actually revealed the flavor. So they did it in such an interesting, hyped way. I thought it was pretty cool. That would be my story of the week. Not the most read story, but just because it's so different, I liked it. I thought it was cool.
I read it.
Shane, you know what? I have a question for you too. Wow, it's a lot of questions directed at Shane now.
Oh,
well, no, it's actually very, very simple. So we just talked about brands expanding into different territories and stuff like that, adding to the arsenal of products and stuff like that. So one of the things that I came across, I don't know if you consider X and Sledge a hardcore company just because of Seth Ferozzi, or do you think it's more of a marketing thing? But regardless of that, and you can answer that question too if you want to, but you definitely saw that they added beta-alanine and arginine and PQ2 and what the fuck else, citrulline, glutamine. So like novelty, like products and stuff like that. In your opinion, good move, bad move, unnecessary move, and how do you look at it just in general?
I look at everything as a beautiful, positive thing, regardless of what it is. That's just how I see it. But I always see these things as just, I mean, it's no skin off their back. I mean, these are things that people might buy elsewhere. And I also like how I like when Brett, like Redcon 1 did it, and it makes sense. If you can't buy your entire stack at Redcon 1, like, holy shit, what are you looking for, right? Like, you want GTA, they got it. You want a test booster, they got it. You want a second test booster, they got that too. You want 3 fat burners? Yeah, they got you covered. Or 4 different protein powders. And then they add the basics because people do. Some people want creatine by itself. Some people want to add glutamines for whatever reason, regardless of the reason. They'll want to add these things. And typically you go to Optimum, you go to bulk powders, you go to MyProtein, and X and Sledge just, I think it's a great idea. And I like how when brands do this, that they put together basic lines that are true representations of themselves. Like you didn't get creatine, carnitine, glutamine, and BCAAs. What did you get from you got arginine, citrulline, which is not something you see often, Pico-2, which is something you definitely don't see that often standalone. So they put together a variety. So even if you were like, I want some glutamine, and then you see the other basic products, and then you discover Pico-2. So I like the flair that they brought to it. I've seen a few brands, and there's a Russian brand. I can't for the life of me remember the name. Crazy hardcore Russian brand, and their singles are like race Tams and race Tims, and I thought it was like,
it's a black label. I think Review Brothers reviewed their product.
They introduced them to me, and like, yeah, I like that true representation. Right, you don't get creatine, glutamine, you get these really intense race Tims and stuff, and I thought I like seeing that because it's not a basic, carbon copy of the last guy. You get something specific, something new, something different. But if you're asking in the case for Apollon, hell yeah, you should do it. I mean, your line's huge enough as it is. And if people want like some sort of creatine, and you'll be like, the other thing is you kind of set the tone. They'll be like, hey, do you need basic products? Yeah. And be like, why don't you have this one? You'll be like, because I think it's shit. And then like, you get to shape the way in your appeal, because at the moment you have no basics, and people are definitely buying others outside of your lineup. I think they'll definitely be going for an additional vitamin or additional.
So what you're saying is a hardcore brand could definitely add it without no problem.
Oh yeah, like I said, that brand we just talked about was a prime example.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Russian brand is called Freak
Yes.
Label. Freak Label, yeah.
Yeah, and they do like, I think melatonin's in there as well.
Yeah,
like,
I see that.
Weird little and I know there's race Tams in there, and I'm pretty sure they might have like some of them DMAs and DMHAs as well.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, Robbie.
Let's go.
That's the thing, like, and I think it sets the tone, like, right? Like you'd be able to say, hey, well, what kind of basics do you offer? And you show them these, and they'd be like, oh. But then they sit there and be like, okay, maybe these are the basics I should be using, kind of thing. So it's I think it's cool, and it's fun when you don't see the BCAA, creatine, glutamine, liquid carnitine.
Yeah. Cool.
I think.
All right, gentlemen.
That's great.
I think that brings us to the end of yet another episode of the Final Scoop. Thank you for your time, and thank you for all the listeners. And shameless plug for the listeners, if you don't mind, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below, share the podcast, leave us a review on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music, wherever you listen and consume your podcast media. Thank you all again, and we'll be in touch as always, gentlemen. Have a good one.
See you next week.
Take care,
See ya, guys.
All right.